Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to another week in the life of running our dealership, NG Supercars.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and that is Randy. Randy is a badass. Did you know that? Randy is going to be working his butt off on this yellow 360 because, well, it needs a major service conversion and like a couple other things. That yellow car will be here for a little while, so just get used to seeing it in the background. It's actually making pretty good progress. So far, so good, I would say. No real hiccups. Other than, well, admittedly, we've had to order some parts because, well, yeah, Ferraris. And that's the joy of working on Ferraris is like you get into it and all of a sudden you're like, oh, we need this part. Yeah, it's going to be like a week. Shit! Okay. And this is why when we do service on cars, so if you're sending your car to us for service, what we do is we charge you for the parts up front. We order the parts, or at least everything we think we need as much as possible. And then we don't want your car here until the parts get here because sometimes it could be 2 weeks or so. I don't know. It just depends what parts we need and if they're in stock and whatever. And if they have to come from Italy, oh, God. That's a chore. Yeah, stuck in customs or all, who knows what. That's the way it works. And then when we're all done with the service, that's when we charge you the labor. Oh, and by the way, if you have big jobs for us, we either charge a 3% upcharge if you're going to pay with a credit card, or if you pay by wire, then it's just whatever the charge is the charge. When we start doing like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 credit card charges and we're losing 3%, yeah, we can't. That's too much. If you saw my credit card processing bill for last year, it would make you cry. We could have easily bought some fun cars. That makes me very sad. This car is here. It has got a deposit. It is technically sold-ish. I mean, we should have the rest of the money at some point soon. As you can see, we are de-PPFing or de-wrapping it, and I am not looking forward to that job. It's going to suck. And this car, actually, cool thing about this car is it's done. Well, it's like 99.9% done. We have to fix the taillight. So it's got the loose taillight problem for the 430s. So if we go back here, you can see, yeah, it's got a broken stutter too. So that's pretty common. Honestly, here's the funny thing. We found that if you epoxy the crap out of them, that's probably like the best solution. There are some kits out there as well. Unfortunately, the one kit that we used to sell, the gentleman making them passed away, so we no longer can get them. I've heard of some other kits. I haven't tried any. I would like to try some. Hey, if you make taillight rebuild kits for the 430 and you would like to sell them through us or let us try them out or something like that, reach out to me, send me an email, sales@normalguyssupercar.com, and we can discuss it and see if it makes sense. Late Friday and early Saturday, we had the headliner get fixed. So if you know, on these 430s, the headliners start to sag and eventually they'll just fall down. And it's really fun when you're driving and that happens. I've had that happen. But what happens is the foam insulation degrades over time from the heat and humidity and stuff, and then it just kind of separates and then it just sags. So it's not exactly the same problem as what happens on the dashboard with the shrinking leathers. That's where the leather itself actually starts to contract and then it pulls up. So you get like pulling on the corners and you get like ripples where it's really loose. You just barely see like a little bubble here and a little, see that looseness right there? It's just barely doing it on this car, but this is pretty darn good. This is like well above average or typical what you see. The other thing is a good sign of what's happening is you'll see these dash vents are popped up. As the leather starts to shrink, it contracts and pops these vents up. So these vents are normally supposed to be down at like a 45-degree angle. They're actually only held in with plastic tabs. And so what happens is it actually breaks the plastic tabs, which is awesome design. Thanks, Ferrari. To replace that or fix that, you usually have to like remove the entire dash. It's a big job. You're talking many thousands of dollars. So that's why that job usually gets punted until someone's really motivated. The Aston Martin, I am going to take this for a test drive and review later today. So we already got pictures of it. We have not listed it on the website, but it is pictured. So it's ready to get listed so I can take it and drive it and get it dirty, and I'm not going to worry about it. That is one of my goals. In fact, I'm going to be on the computer a lot this morning. I have a bunch of stuff going on. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take a quick diversion. And if you want to support us, do me a favor. Check out normalguyssupercar.com and NG Supercars and like, share, and subscribe. All those things do help us out. We do appreciate that. But particularly, check out our services. So that's one of the things that we do that's really awesome and I am really proud of, is we offer some services that are really cool. So one of the things we do is we offer consultation services. If you're interested in buying a Ferrari and you want just a voice of reason or an impartial, unbiased person helping you out with that, hire us. We do that. We have helped hundreds and hundreds. I'm guessing somewhere around 400 to 500 people now have had our consultation service, and I've never once had a single person ask for a refund. So I'm really proud of that. And it is 100% guaranteed. If you, for some reason, said I didn't help you or you didn't like my service, I will give you your money back, no problem. So the other service that helps people out when buying cars is our PPI service, or our all-inclusive service, where basically it's kind of a white glove thing where we'll negotiate for you, we'll help you manage buying the car, we can run the car through our dealership, we'll go out and physically look at the car and do a PPI on it. So that service is obviously a lot more expensive. It takes a lot more of our time. And of course, we have all sorts of travel expenses. Also, we do remote consignments, which I'm really proud of. I don't know anyone else really doing this, which is you hire us, we actually fly out, go look at your car, do a PPI, inspect it, take all the pictures and videos we need, come back, and then list it for sale. And we manage the sale of the car. And once it sells, then we take a very small commission on the sale price. That service is really awesome. It eliminates the risk of having your car have some sort of fraud situation because you still have possession of the car, your insurance still covers the car, and you still have the title. So no worries, you basically don't have the car leave your site until you're paid. Same with the title. So it's great. It's a win-win for everyone. I think it's an awesome service. So if you're interested in any of those services and you got questions, send us an email, sales@normalguysupercar.com. Okay, up on the lift is Scott's old 360. So this thing was in the flood. We got it running again. We have the transmission out. We're going to be converting it into a manual. And we have a lot of interest in it. So my suspicion is I think it's going to be sold or have a deposit in the next 24 to 48 hours. It might not. I could be wrong, but there seems to be growing interest in it because effectively this is going to be a really good buy. Pretty darn cheap. And it's actually well, it doesn't look like it right now. It's all covered in mud and crap because we drove it right after that snowstorm. But it's going to be all cleaned up. We're going to get everything sorted and we're going to have the front end of the car repainted. So it's going to look really, really good when we're all done. Who knows, that might not get a deposit, but it might. The GTR, still have not had time to review it or get it pictured. We finally, it's like a cobweb or some spider thing. Where was I? Oh yeah, so it did get washed and cleaned up and detailed, ready for pictures. I'm not going to drive it today unless I can get pictures of it at some point today. Might happen, might not. If I do, then I might drive it, but honestly, I don't know if I'm going to have time. Anyway, orange car, client's car, it's all done. I just need to give it one last drive to make sure everything's good. We'll do that probably tomorrow because they're not coming to pick it up until Thursday. So I've got another day or two where I can just kind of let it sit. And then we got, Steve's car. We're just storing the Pista. The exhaust is, I thought, done or really close to done. I don't know. Man, I don't know why it's not here yet. It's supposed to have been done a few weeks ago. The joys of ordering aftermarket custom exhaust for Ferraris kind of are at the mercy of the manufacturers. And of course, the 190E. It is going to be a busy, busy day. I have a lot of stuff to do on the computer. I actually have 2 consultation clients I'm working with right now. One of them, we're actively trying to get a deposit on a car so that we can schedule me going out to do a PPI on it. That will probably be next week if everything's going well. There's another PPI, or another consultation client. He's trying to make a decision of whether or not he wants to buy this other car or not. So we may or may not be doing a PPI in that car. And by the way, if you're interested in buying a Ferrari and it's not something we have in stock and you want our help, or if you want to end up buying something from us, send us an email to the list. So we keep a list of clients who are interested in Ferraris. And basically what that is our way of helping people find good cars. We stopped looking for cars for people specifically. Like if you came to us and said, I need this car with these options, we will not go looking for that car. It just doesn't work. We've spent time doing that and it just never works out right. And it's not good for anyone. However, what we do is we run into cars that maybe aren't good buys for us in the dealership, but maybe they are a good buy for you. So for example, maybe we find a really nice car and it's at retail and they won't sell it to us below retail. Well, then there's no money for us to be made on actually buying and reselling the car. So we're not interested in buying it into the dealership. However, it might be a really good car for one of you. Or maybe we find something that's off market or something like that. Anyway, there's 1,000 things that could happen where we're made aware of a car that could be of interest to one of you. And so if we find one of these cars, we send an email to people who are on the list who are interested in that car. When you get on the list, you basically say, hey, I'm kind of looking for this make, model, years, mileage, budget, colors, options, whatever. Any details you want to give us. And if it's close to what you're looking for, we'll send you an email and say, hey, we're aware of this car. Here's where it is, or here's the status or whatever. Do you want to pursue this car? And if so, then you can basically work with us to try and make a deal on the car. We've done that a lot. We've helped a lot of people buy cars that way. It works out pretty good. If you want to get on the list, send me an email, or send Rachel an email. She's the one who manages the list. So send it to sales@ngsupercars.com and she'll take care of you. All right, guys, I've been talking all morning. I need to get on the computer and start getting stuff done. So I'm gonna hop to it. All right, YouTube, it's just afternoon, still doing computer stuff. I'm gonna set up and test drive the Aston in just a minute. First, actually gonna film another video I wanted to do for a while now. I thought about it and I'm like, we should be doing like a monthly, what's the current status of the Ferrari market, where I just kind of talk about the Ferrari market in general. I'm gonna do that as a whole and just kind of talk about some of the values and some of the things we're seeing. It'll just be a fascinating video that we could do every month or so. Also, another thing I've been trying to do is figure out a way for us to do more, not shorts, but shorter format, long format videos, if that makes sense. So like 10 to 15 minute videos about a specific topic, something that we could dive into, something we can discuss in depth or go over or whatever. So I'd like to start doing that and producing that sort of content regularly, stuff that's helpful besides just doing the vlog. Because I know a lot of you love the vlogs, and I actually really think they're kind of cool for me to just kind of remember all the stuff that's going on and see what's going on in the shop. But I want to also get back to some of the videos we used to, which was like helpful videos that like teach you how to do some stuff, things like that. Not necessarily all like DIY, but even just simple things of like, here's what to expect out of owning the car, you know, that sort of stuff. So I'm gonna do some filming, and I'm still working with these consultation clients. So we're trying to figure out their cars, their situation. So I just had this thought I wanted to bring up to you guys, which is one of the questions I would ask if you're trying to buy a car, trying to buy a Ferrari from some random dealer or whatever, you're talking to a sales guy, and inevitably they're like, oh, the car is perfect, everything's perfect, blah, blah, blah. Just do me a favor and ask them this one question. Just say, hey, have you ever owned a Ferrari? And then follow that up with, have you ever worked on a Ferrari? And the only reason I bring that up is because a lot of people say all this stuff about the cars, but they don't really know what they're talking about because they've never actually owned one of these and never actually experienced working on one of these cars. That's something I think that's really kind of unique about our business, is that Josh and I have both owned many Ferraris and wrenched on even more Ferraris. So I think that gives you a different perspective when you're talking to potential buyers for these cars. So you can really kind of empathize and from experience say, this is what it's actually like owning this car. This is what it's actually like to work on this car, to keep it maintained, to keep it running, all that stuff. So it's just kind of this thought I had. It's not like the big deal if they haven't, but I just, you know, you can use it to kind of scale your expectations of the conversation with that individual, how much of what they're saying is based in reality versus based on things they read on the internet. All right, YouTube, just as expected, nothing ever goes the way I planned. I'm not gonna have time to drive this today or the GTR today, but we did get a email deal to buy a Ferrari F430, and we sent money to buy the Ferrari F430 that Josh went and looked at like a little over a week ago. That deal's done. So we have two 430s that we're buying. To be sure, the first one, the one that Josh looked at, needs a lot of stuff. So it'll be one of those where if you want to buy it as is, you can. We would recommend you pay for all these things to get done. Or if no one wants to do that, we'll end up fixing it up and then selling it for a lot more once it's fixed up. The other car is actually a car that's been on the channel before. It is the car that had some paint work done to it that the owner didn't know about. So when we went out there, we looked at it and we said, there's definitely some paint work on this car. Obviously, we couldn't pay as much as we had wanted to, which was unfortunate because the rest of the car is in super good condition, really, really nice, 23,000 miles. So very good example. So he finally came around to the number that we liked. So we finally are gonna buy it. So we'll get that car down here probably in a week or so. And in the meantime, I'm still working on these consultation calls and clients. So that's actually taking a lot more of my time than expected. And then we have a car that's being dropped off for a conversion that's supposed to get here sometime after 4 p.m. And funny enough, we called our transporter. We said, hey, this car will be ready for pickup tomorrow. And they called us and like, oh, we'll be there at 5 o'clock today. We're like, no, tomorrow And there's one of my consultation calls. Okay, at least I have one less thing to worry about today. They just emailed us and said that the driver dropping off the car got delayed and won't be delivering until tomorrow morning. So now we have 2 cars, one going in, one going out tomorrow morning. Okay, it's already 5 o'clock, so had a meeting with a company that does editing and other social media stuff. So one of the challenges that we've been facing, or I have been facing, is I don't have enough time to do everything I do. And one of the things we collectively as a business have determined maybe should be outsourced is the editing, because my videos don't have a particularly strong editing style. I mean, they're pretty simple videos. The editing's pretty basic. It can be outsourced. There was a company that reached out to us and they actually manage the editing and content of a couple of larger YouTubers that I'm aware of. And that's one of the things is, we get solicitations for companies wanting to do that stuff constantly. But like, I go look at their portfolio of who they deal with, and it's all these tiny YouTubers or people I've never even heard of or whatever. I don't want to hire them. And frankly, I don't really want to outsource it to another country, at least for the main entity, because I want to be able to talk to people, communicate effectively, and also in the same time frame that I'm awake. They're going to come up with a proposal. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. We'll find out. Maybe I'll take it. Maybe I won't. Who knows? If not, that is something that I'm going to be actively pursuing. So we're kind of pursuing 2 things at the moment. One is that. The other thing is we're actively looking for a detailer. So we need, at the moment, probably a part-time detailer, someone who can wash the cars, make ready for sale, get them cleaned up, and then do paint corrections and ceramic coatings, because we do lots of paint corrections. Probably half the cars we buy end up getting a paint correction. The reality is we don't have the need for a full-time person. It just simply, we don't have the volume. There might be weeks where they have a full-time workload, and there might be weeks where we have very little workload. It's very up and down for us, and we can't necessarily predict it or control it very well. We're open to discussing that. So if you happen to be a detailer, obviously you would have to be located in the Austin area and be willing to commute up to Liberty Hill in order to do that. Funny thing happened over today's been strange. So I've got one consultation client who we have a in-person inspection we're trying to schedule, but there's some weird stuff going on with the dealer that has the car. Another in-person consultation for a car that's in Dallas. So we're working on that, trying to get that situated. But the other funny thing was the GTR. The owner of the car let me know that he actually found a buyer for it. A friend of his wants to buy it for pretty close to what we were going to list it for. I guess we're going to facilitate that transaction. And so he's like, hey, do I get a discount since he found the buyer and we actually haven't even listed it yet? And honestly, yeah, I'm a fair person. We haven't done all the work that we would normally do. I'm still going to review the car, to be fair, because I want to review it, even though it won't be for sale, assuming this deal actually goes through, which it sounds like it probably will. I'll still review the car. The nice thing is then we don't have to necessarily take a full portfolio of pictures. So we can just take some reasonable pictures of the car to help the buyer feel comfortable about the condition of the car and stuff. We'll negotiate a better consignment rate, because we didn't have to really do any, well, I shouldn't say any, we didn't have to do that much work. So all I really have done is transport the car up from San Antonio, and we cleaned it up, washed it. We paid our guy to wash it and stuff. So obviously we got to make some money because we've spent money on the car, but we didn't have to really answer any phone calls. We didn't have to put it on our website. I didn't have to deal with all the tire kickers. That's kind of why you're paying us to do this, is to deal with all that crap. So that's certainly a substantial portion of the fees goes towards that. But anyway, it is late in the day. I'm going to head home shortly. So that's it for today. And we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. We have the 2 cars being dealt with on transport. So the red car is going away, and there is another car being dropped off that's being converted. So that's the conversion kit that's right here is for that car. We can get started on it right away, and if everything goes smoothly, at the moment, that's all he's having us do is the conversion. Oh yeah, we do have another car that's coming in for service tomorrow as well. It's being dropped off. So those boxes, it's a bunch of carbon fiber bits and parts.
That's carbon fiber.
Those are getting installed on that car. That will be happening as well tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's gonna be another busy day, so we'll see you then.
Tomorrow.
Good morning, YouTube. It is Tuesday, and we're gonna have a very busy day, as always. But the good news is it's 60-something degrees out, so we're gonna go drive some cars today. It's actually kind of perfect weather. It's cloudy, but it's not raining. There's not really much wind. The temperature's nice. The birds are chirping. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good day. So what we've got going on is Randy's still working on the yellow car. Like I said, that car's gonna be there a while. This car is supposed to get picked up in the next hour or so. I want to quickly give it a quick cleanup. Even though it's going to get dirty in the trailer, they all, just so you know, if you did not know this, when they transport cars, even in an enclosed trailer, they get coated in a layer of like road dust. They always look like shit when they come out of the trailers. The difference is it's not coated in like road dust and rock chips and other things that can happen when they're not enclosed. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit because we like cars to leave here looking good, even if they are just going to get dirty in a trailer. We're going to test drive the Aston Martin at some point today, and we need to test drive the GTR because, as I mentioned yesterday, we have a deal for it, so it is going to be sold later today. So I have to do paperwork on that this morning. Also, interesting news. So I have a deal to buy a Ferrari F430. It's actually one that I've already seen, was already on this channel. I think we've already talked about this. It's one that has some paint work that was done to it that's not on the Carfax. The paint work was not known until I inspected it. It's a good car. Everything else other than that paint work looks excellent, and it's been maintained to a high standard. The last, well, I should say the current owner, because I haven't bought it from him yet, but the current owner has spent a ton of money maintaining this car. As far as I remember, everything was up to date. So that car I'm going to also be buying some point today. And then the car that Josh looked at in San Diego is supposed to get paid for and hopefully picked up in the next day or two. Should be here maybe late this week, but probably early next week. Lots of moving things happening today. Lots of stuff going on. It's going to be quite a busy morning. Oh, and then we have another car being dropped off sometime in the next hour or two that's getting a conversion. And then just to keep things really interesting, we have another car coming in that's getting those carbon fiber bits. So that car is supposedly maybe 11, 12-ish, noon, whatever. I don't know. He lives local, so he's just going to drive by and drop it off. And then he's going to leave it here for a week, so we actually aren't going to be in a big rush to work on it. We can kind of take our time. Some sort of bird that's giving a good chirp. He's like, yo, I hear you. Now they shut up. Well, anyway. Let's hop into it because I got a lot of stuff I'm going to do today. Oh, and I have a conference call at noon with the company that I was talking to yesterday about helping me edit videos. So they're supposed to give me a presentation on how much will this actually cost and what they can actually do for me. That'll be an interesting call. 9:23. So I'm going to get some shit done before the cars get picked up and stuff. Alrighty. Red car's on its way back home, saving the manuals one car at a time. Pretty cool that they come in as an automatic and leave as a manual. I love that. That's really kind of makes your heart happy to know that we're keeping manuals around for a little while longer. Well, we're yeeting the PPF wrap, whatever, off. So we're trying the towel method. We got steamers. I don't know. What's the consensus? We like towels or steam better?
I don't know. I like the steam better myself.
Josh likes the steam. Randy likes the towels. We're almost there. It's at least coming off reasonably easy, knock on wood. Well, the other car is supposed to be getting delivered right now. They were supposed to have it unloaded an hour ago. We're still waiting for them to call us and say it's ready to get picked up. Grabbing that car soon. That's another conversion car. Okay, the car is ready to be picked up. Finally got it unloaded. It's only taken them over an hour. Anyway, I'm just gonna walk over there because they locked that gate up the ways a bit, so oh well, I'll get some exercise in. Okay, we're in the client's Ferrari F430 that is getting a manual conversion. Clutch is a little loose, so I can see the PIS is not set correctly on this one, but gray exterior, red interior. I kind of like this combo. I know some people, it's a love or hate kind of combo. Got some good carbon fiber bits and stuff. The steering wheel is actually gray leather. That is interesting. Got some bad stickies. Ooh. Yeah, I feel the clutch riding a little. Dash vents are up a little. Well, it's a Spider, so yeah, we'll give it an inspection before we start working on it. Probably get started in a day or two is my guess. So, hooray, another conversion. Saving the manuals one at a time. There you go. Nice gray Spider. Looks good. It's got the traditional wheels and stuff. She's gonna be a manual real soon. Bye-bye, center console. Haha. Got some paperwork to do. We're still pulling still pulling PPF. I gotta send a wire. So anyway, We'll chat in a little bit. Oh, we just got another car. I forgot that we were even getting this car. It's here on consignment. An Audi RS6. I think these are badass. I know, I'm not an Audi fan, but hatchbacks, I'm a huge fan of hatchbacks. So anytime you can get a super fast, badass hatchback, I'm a fan. Definitely gonna have to do a review of that car. We'll get pictures of it and videos and stuff, so we'll send that pretty soon. But here's the first time I'm excited for an Audi. Okay, the Audi nerds are giving me shit because it is not a hatchback. It's not a wagon. It's an Avant.
There you go.
Right?
That's right.
With the E at the end, right? A-V-A-N.
No, it's A-V-A-N-T.
Oh, I thought it had a T-E. Okay, no, well.
It's not French.
Oh.
It's German.
The Germans!
You gotta put more phlegm in it.
More phlegm in it. Well, sorry, I said that it was a wagon. Or, sorry, I said it was a hatchback. And then I got corrected, it's not a wagon.
Hatchback's like a GTI. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know. Four doors are wagons, 2 doors are hatches. That's like one of the only wagons that they even make anymore, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can get an A6 Avant, I think.
They cycle through which ones
Okay, so like the RS6 is like the cooler, faster version?
Yeah.
Okay.
RS6 is like the BMW M or AMG
Right,
Mercedes or whatever.
Okay, I'd rather have that. I like that.
The original RS6 was a sedan.
I even don't mind it in that gray.
The original RS6 was an Avant in Europe.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, they know all this Audi stuff. I don't... Whatever.
Several of them.
Yeah, I know you have. Both of you have, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about something that's a little bit unpleasant. So here's the deal. We have our parts and services website, normalguysupercar.com. And it's clearly stated in our terms of service and all that stuff that if you buy something on our website and then you decide to cancel your order or ask for a refund, we keep a fee. So there's a restocking fee, and it could be as large as like 15%. Now, the reason we say it's 15% is because it depends on the situation. But here's the problem. When you buy something from us on our website, no matter what, about 3% of the money is gone. We don't have it. It goes to the credit card processor. We can't get it back, period. So if I refund you 100% of your charge, you are effectively stealing money from me. And that bothers me a lot. Used our website, bought some things, swipe your credit card or punch in your credit card stuff, and then you say, displeased with whatever, for whatever reason, give me my money back. We're going to say, no, sorry. We're keeping a minimum of 3% because we're out 3%. If we've wired the money to companies because we have to wire the money, we're out more money because now some of these companies won't send us the money back, period. In those cases, we're going to charge you at least like a 15% restocking fee because now I have to buy that product and then resell that product because they're not going to just like give me my money back. They don't have refund policies. They just say no. So I'm screwed. Long story short is when you buy through our website, just like many other websites, it's clearly stated in our terms of use and all that stuff. You're SOL on that. Now, what I really, really dislike is when we tell people that and then they start threatening us with lawyers or chargebacks or any of that crap. How that plays out is usually we're going to tell you, too bad, go pound sand, because just like almost any other website like ours that does retail stuff, it's in our terms of use. And so you've agreed to those when you use our website. And so you probably would lose a chargeback in most cases. But the other thing is we're going to ban you from our website, and we may even decide to trash talk you, depending how badly it goes. So this is pretty rare. It's only happened a handful of times, but it has happened. And it just happened again, you know. Yeah, frustrating stuff. Anyway, I hate dealing with this stuff. It's not what I want to be dealing with. I want to be dealing with good stuff and having good experiences. And the thing is, we're at the mercy of a lot of our suppliers. A lot of them give us dates and they don't deliver on those dates. Or, you know, they tell us it's going to take so many weeks to get a thing, and it's not. Here's the reality is, if you've been in the Ferrari world for anything more than a few days, you know that everything takes time to get parts in the Ferrari world, especially in the aftermarket world. Almost nothing anywhere is available immediately. So if you order some aftermarket exhaust or springs or carbon fiber bits or whatever, it's not going to get to you in any sort of quick, reasonable time frame because almost nothing is in stock. And if it does, that's the exception, not the rule. So plan ahead. You're inability to think ahead of what you want to do with your car is not constituting an emergency on our part to get that to you immediately. Contrary to popular belief, the customer is not always right. We have to run our business protecting ourselves, and unfortunately, in this particular industry, sometimes you get some pretty entitled people who demand things that are unreasonable and not going to happen. We were just dealing with a frustrating customer, and that bothers me. So, and I had to ban them from the system. So that's usually what it ends up being, is if I have to eat shit to make you happy, f you, you're never buying anything from me again. That's kind of how it works, right? You get one shot. I'm not going to sit here and eat dog shit for you. No, it ain't going to work that way, bro. Anyway, it's the end of the day. I had a super busy day, and somehow I squeezed in reviewing the Aston Martin and the GTR, and managed to do all the paperwork and all the crap. So I hit almost every single goal I set out for the day. Whoa. Wow. I'm impressed. Record time. It's just a little bit after 5 p.m. I still have a bunch of emails and shit I'm going to answer before I go home. And look at that. We have the 458 almost totally unwrapped. It's getting there. What a pain in the ass that's been. Then we'll have to get it a paint correction, because anytime you remove wraps or PPFs or whatever, it needs paint correction. It just, there's going to be marks and stuff on the paint 100% of the time. That's it for tonight. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much to all of you that have supported us and been wonderful clients. Here's the thing. It's 99% of you are amazing. So I know I'm bitching about the very, very, very small minority. That's the thing, is the most of the time it's boring because it goes really well and everyone's happy and things are going smoothly and people are appreciative and we're happy that they're happy and we like helping them out and all that jazz. So this is an unusual thing. So, you know, all right. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Well, good morning, YouTube. It is Wednesday. Randy is putting in some carbon fiber, some carbon fiber. Ooh, carbon fiber bits.
That's carbon fiber.
Oh yeah.
Regular Cali.
No tea.
No tea. That car got dropped off late yesterday. We gotta put those in, and then we're gonna keep it for about a week. And then, geez, the shop actually suddenly got quite full. So black car still unwrapping, waiting on parts for the yellow car. Aston still got to get listed for sale. Gray car just came in, getting conversion. Waiting on one damn part is holding up this car. Scott's old car, waiting on parts. Mercedes got moved. The GTR is officially sold, so I need to arrange transport and we can send it. And the orange car is getting picked up tomorrow, I believe. And then the Pista, we finally got an update. They're supposed to ship the Pista exhaust tomorrow. So it should be here, I'm going to say early next week, and we finally can get started on that. That is one of the jobs I'm really looking forward to. Another crazy busy day. I already have a pile of stuff I have to do. Arrange shipping for a couple of cars. I got to do a bunch of other stuff. We have the one car that I bought yesterday. They picked it up the same day that I bought it. Like, I told them, hey, pick up this car anytime after the wire transfer goes through, and they were there within hours. It was crazy. That's the weird thing about shipping, is sometimes they can't get to it for like a week, and other times like, oh, we'll be there in an hour. And you're like, what the hell? Like, calm down. I was looking for a quote. That has literally happened to us, where we ask for a quote and then they show up. We're like, we wanted a quote. We didn't say come. That happened last week. Jeez. Anyway, so there is going to be a change in the scheduling for these videos. So right now I am filming Monday through Friday and doing like the week in the life videos. And then I edit my ass off on Fridays and I'm up until super late, and then it comes out Saturday morning, and that doesn't work for my life. I'm tired of doing that. I'm tired of having no Friday nights ever. So that's no longer going to be the case. I decided I'm going to film from Wednesday to Wednesday. Today will be the last day in this particular week in the life video. So this Saturday will be from only Monday to Wednesday. Sorry, it's going to be a short one. The following Saturday will be from today until next Wednesday. Make sense? Good.
Everybody got that? Good.
That is going to allow me to restore having a life on Friday nights. I have not had a Friday night to just sit and drink a beer and enjoy some time with my wife and kids in, I don't know, since before Christmas. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, cool. I'm clawing that back. that being said, it'll be a short video. I'll be wrapping it up shortly. I'm talking way too long about something that's not that complicated. Moving on.
Yes, get on with it!
I'm going to jump on the computer and then I'll wrap up this video shortly. But do me a favor before we do all of that. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Check out normalguysupercar.com, our parts and services website, and NG Supercars, even though we don't really have anything on that website yet. But we're still working on that website. We should have it done soon. Hooray.
And there was much rejoicing.
I hope. All right, guys. We're going to do some stuff.
2 hours later.
All right, YouTube. It's the end of the day. It's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate your support. You guys have been amazing over all these years. Oh, man. My subscribe thing is busted. Oh, look at that. It's it's only, okay. Oh, I fixed it. Subscribe. There you go. Like, share, and subscribe. Cheap Chinese crap. It's been a crazy day. We got the panels in on the Ferrari California. One of the panels that they sent, or one of the parts they sent, was for the wrong Ferrari. They sent us parts for an F12, not a California. So we were like, yeah, can't fit that. Ooh, carbon fiber. Funny enough, this thing was missing some of these bolts. And so I went to go order some of those bolts. Take a guess how much those bolts are each. Like $10. $10.
You serious?
Idiotic. I can't find those bolts through some of the other regular bolt suppliers. I can only find them through Ferrari. So I think I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and order some of them. That is gonna suck. I'm not pleased about that. It is what it is. This is the business room. Ugh, annoying. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next video. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool car stuff. You're gonna want to stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.